Hello and welcome to Kickin' and Crocs, the podcast. We talk about martial arts stuff, geeky stuff, and all sorts of stuff. My name is Steve, one half of Kickin' and Crocs.
I'm Dave, the other half of Kickin' Crocs.
And I'm Nick, the shadow portion of Kickin' and Crocs.
Woohoo! So today's going to be a little bit shorter today. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to keep this right to the point.
We're pressed for time because
We are
it's
pressed for
Palm
time.
Sunday.
It's Palm Sunday.
Also, I have no voice.
Yeah, Dave's voice is starting
Nick
to
does
go.
the Easter Palm Sunday stuff.
We do. The Easter Palm Sunday thing is a great one in the Christian faith. It's the laying of the palms as Jesus came into Jerusalem. So it's like just a celebration of like,
And
hey,
then
thank you for coming in.
My Palm Sunday is just high-fiving people.
Palms. Literal palms.
Touch. Boom.
Palms.
Love it.
But anyways, let's get right into it then. So, good Master Dave Zaffos, on this past Tuesday of last week, he just turned the ripe young age of 40 years
40
old.
years old.
40 years old. It was his birthday, and it's awesome.
40
Yeah,
club.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
thank you,
buddy.
thank you, thank you.
Awesome stuff.
So we had
Happy
you.
birthday.
a fun little pizza party for your birthday yesterday.
We kept it kind of low-key.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do anything like too crazy. You know, my wife is 6 months pregnant, so entertaining sometimes is. So we're like, come and go as you please. We're going to order some pizzas and just hang out.
Have some fun, yeah.
So
And we did. It was a good time. A lot of
It's-
people showed up.
a lot of people showed up. It started off fun and cool, and we had a blast. And then somewhere we got the pizza. We started eating. We did our thing, and then there was tornado warnings.
Yeah, but everybody's phone went off right in the middle of this party.
It
Tornado
was that
warnings.
unifying annoying sound, but it's annoying for a reason. It wants to get your attention.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was funny is before we got the tornado warnings, right? So people are eating pizza. We finished eating, and then I have set up in my backyard. I have a spear toss because we do a lot of Spartan races. So I have a barrel like hay bales
Mm-hmm.
on a wooden stand,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have a spear. So it's a wooden like stick with a metal point at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like a lightning rod.
Very similar.
Yep. So we're out there throwing the spear, and the clouds just start rolling in, and the sky just starts turning dark, and we're just throwing the spear, having fun. And then Nick comes out, and he's like, "If you guys start feeling static electricity or something like that," you said something I remember.
Yeah, if the sky, because my
Well, 'cause-
father, who is very aware of weather, geography, right away calls me and he's like, "So this is an actual storm. It's not like a weatherman spoof. I'm following it. It's pretty good. Keep an eye." So I come out and I say, "If you see the clouds turn within the next 15 minutes or so,
Which is
stop holding the
Which is-
metal rod."
from our perspective, though, in the distance, if you look in my backyard, in the back corner, you can see the sky in the distance. You could see the lightning already starting.
You could see the
You could
light.
see
Oh,
the
yeah.
sky would flash. And at first, I thought, I couldn't tell. Like, is it somebody setting off fireworks?
Yep.
Is it just because we have a military base back there somewhere? And then there's schools at light. So there's always
Something.
fireworks in my neighborhood go off every single weekend. Literally, there's posts on Facebook about it all the time. Just, I don't know, my neighborhood's.
They celebrate a lot.
Love their
Yeah.
fireworks.
So they're still chucking spears, and there's lightning in the background. And Nick's like, "Hey, you guys should come in if." And as he's saying it, there's lightning bolts in the background, and they're still throwing spears at this hay. So eventually, the sky got darker, and everybody came
darker.
inside.
Yep, we came inside finally. We're like,
And
you
then
know
the
what?
phones
Yeah.
went off.
Then the phones went off.
And almost immediately after the phones went off, and I'm not one to like, okay, you got the emergency warning, whatever. The phones go off. Sky gets darker, and then it starts to rain. Only it ain't rain.
Only it wasn't rain.
It started to hail. And you
Oh,
could
yeah.
hear these things off of my house, like pop, 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 pop. It was crazy.
And I get the text from my wife, who was supposed to be at a play with the kids, and she was there, but they did postpone the play now because of the storm. You have this hail coming down. You have this sky lit up like daylight with those lightning.
lightning,
showers.
yeah.
Yes, it
So,
was heavy.
it's pretty cool because, like, if you go on Facebook now or Instagram, my wife was showing me, like, she just showed us before we came here.
Right.
The
damage.
One World Trade, the lightning,
Hit the One World
It
Trade
was
Center,
crazy.
the lightning rod on top
and
of it.
then you could see like a lot of people in my town's like Facebook group, because every town has a Facebook group.
Yep.
They're showing like the clouds and how it all looked. I mean, we saw a picture of your neighborhood
Yep.
with like the clouds
Going
and
straight down.
Mhm.
and then just trying to drive here, the way I normally get to your house,
Blocked off.
blocked off. There was a downed electrical wire. Oh.
Last night, it was they were
Well, we
already
went.
up.
We
yeah.
woke up this morning. We are gonna go for a run.
Got
So
it.
Steve and I were gonna go for a run. He calls me. We're heading to the park. He's like, "Dude, the park's closed."
Yeah, the
Oh, they
entrance.
closed it down.
The entrance was coned off, right? So was the exit. They were both coned off by those big orange cones, and I saw tree branches just lying everywhere. And there was just like one of those big, what are they called? Front end loaders or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like they can go down and like
Dip
grab
forward.
the things and stuff like that. But it was moving around by the entrance, like grabbing tree branches and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, like, oh my god. I wonder how much. Like, there's a lot of trees in that park.
Oh yeah.
And that was a really bad storm. Like, the wind was howling.
Oh, and the hail.
So, yeah,
Oh my God.
There must have been a lot of damage
And-
done.
You know, to take a step back, hearts go out to a lot of the families that were west of the New Jersey and Philly that got really hit by these series of storms.
Well, there was like
50 lives.
there was like there's a
Lost.
death toll to it, and there was
Yeah.
like 60 tornadoes nationwide.
Oh,
Yep.
It was a wild day.
And I had no idea. Like we were joking, not joking, but we were talking about like the day started off rainy,
Yep.
then somewhere in the middle it got really nice.
Yeah.
60 degrees.
Like we had kids
Yeah.
playing outside in the yard. Sun was out. It was like a spring
Day, yeah.
day, and then all of a sudden it degraded into this like
Tornado.
Maelstrom.
Storm.
maelstrom of hell.
Armageddon.
It's like it's crazy. And then when you see like we got hit, but not like some of these other like
No.
states that got
Other
Yeah.
states got hit
just
really
wow.
bad. Like the Tornado Alley states.
Oh,
Yeah.
why? I mean, your brother-in-law, I'm sure. You
They're in
heard
Missouri.
From them. They're good. You heard from them,
Yeah.
right? He's used to that kind of stuff. I think Kelsey was
The
telling me
very
this
the very
story about-
first time I visited my sister moved from New Jersey to Missouri. So the first time I got to go out and visit my nephews and my sister and my brother-in-law in Missouri, first day we're there, the town has a siren
Yeah.
that goes off, and it's all right. Everybody has to get down in the basement, and then you can't get out of the basement till you get the all clear sign, like the all clear siren. It's like that's so not a New Jersey thing.
No,
No.
not at all. I know Kelsey was telling me about that story. She goes, it was so wild. It's you hear it like you would a church bell. You just hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever it is. And you have to listen for it, like you said, the clear sign, or you can't get out of that. You got
Which is a very different experience from like New Jersey, where that doesn't happen.
We rarely get tornadoes.
We got the cell phone sign. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Amber Alert on the cell phone.
So
Made for an interesting
Well,
party.
we did do, right? We did take some precautions. Some of the folks were in the hallways.
yeah, we moved
And we
away
moved
from the
away from the
windows.
windows.
Yeah,
Moved away
yeah,
from
yeah.
the windows.
windows.
Put the news on to make sure we knew what was going on.
we moved away from the windows. We had but it was like the hail was like I thought my car was gonna get dented up. It was coming down.
Oh, yeah. And the all clear sign was Uno.
Yeah.
So when we knew everything was good, we whipped out
We
some
played some Harry Potter.
Some
Uno.
Harry Potter Uno.
Some of us played for a little bit, and then some of us watched WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Not a bad day one. But I don't want to get into that, but it was fantastic. Good day one.
Yeah, it was
day
a good.
one.
It was good wrestling. Some people at your party had never watched wrestling before.
I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but yeah, some people haven't.
I think my favorite was for those that started early in the party. Right, Dave reminded everybody there was more to his house than his kitchen.
Yep.
About 500
Yep.
to 600 times because
There was
he
about
wanted
15
people
of
to be
us in that
comfortable.
kitchen.
But I said we are comfortable.
Listen, so I have so
it was an Italian style party. All the food
Yeah.
was
so
in
the
the
way
kitchen.
the way my
Yeah.
house is set up, it's very open.
Very open.
It's
yes,
a very
nice.
open house, but like so the kitchen and dining room are on like a top level,
Mhm.
and then we have a big family room, like a big living room. But everybody was around. I must have 20 people around the island in the kitchen. Now it's only a
Yeah.
1,300 square foot house, and we're not talking a big house. I live in a,
It's a ranch.
yeah, I live in a ranch. We love it. My wife and I like our small like,
Oh, it's awesome.
but everybody was in that like kitchen dining room area, and there was a completely unused family room.
Some of us went out there for a little bit. We
No,
went
it
out there.
Eventually, it
spread out
started
around
to
the house.
It did
sprinkle in.
spread out, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'm like, Dave, this is a typical Italian style. Nobody leaves the kitchen. The food's here, and the
Yep.
people are here, and
Yep.
the conversation's here. So,
Exactly.
and it was such a nice get together. So I appreciate you guys. So
No,
it was cool.
yeah, it was fun. It was nice to get together, and the storm just added to the. People were watching the lightning in the distance, and then
Yeah, we were going
and then
over.
once we knew we were all clear, then we played Uno.
Oh, it was a lot of cool fun, and then to wrap it up with
Interesting
Uno and some WrestleMania, I think it's a good way to tie it all together.
Yep.
But it was cool. I think it was.
And
a
the
really
power
good
didn't
time.
go out, so you got to watch
No,
your
yeah,
WrestleMania.
the power didn't go out at all. I was actually surprised.
Well, it did go out in some certain places.
I saw
in
this
my
and I was
neighborhood, it
surprised.
did, just not in
It was
my block.
literally like
we
a
had
couple
like
blocks over.
we had that quick like flash of brown out, but it was fine. And my cat freaked out the second
Oh,
the hail started and the first lightning bolt. She
Reese's.
took off, hit under the bed.
Oh,
Well, that's when you knew the storm was over, when she was back out in the kitchen.
yeah.
We're like, oh no,
yeah.
we're good. She's in the kitchen.
And it's
fine.
funny when those animal instincts kick in because like
Yeah, they do.
she must have the first bolt of lightning. It was before it started hailing. She booked under the bed, and by the time she booked under the bed, it started hailing. So I think animals just have that like
Yeah, that's sixth
sense, man.
And she wouldn't move. Like, that was done. You know, Kelsey was like, nope, she's not coming out of there. She is
No,
committed to
yeah,
that
yeah.
bed for now. And my dog Rose is the same thing. If she starts breathing really, really heavy, one of two things is happening. Luke is about to play the drums, which she hates, or we're getting a storm. And it'll happen about 10 minutes or 15 minutes before the storm
Luca likes to
rolls
play
in.
the drums.
Oh, he does like to play the drums. And
Well,
the drums are in my living
We
room.
did
so.
so it was cool with the birthday thing. Some people brought some. So Michaela, who was a guest,
Yes, she was a guest on our podcast. She was there for the party.
right? She brought she made again fashion designer. She made like a couple of bibs for the baby to come.
Oh my God, I didn't see those. Oh, cool.
Oh yeah. She made some cool bibs, and that was pretty neat.
She did, but it was really funny when she first mentioned them. She said, "I made you these cool bibs."
Yeah.
And she made it sound like the bibs were
Like,
for
me.
you.
Yeah.
You know what? You could probably go with some bibs.
Hey, you
So-
never know, yeah. Here
and,
comes the airplane, Dave.
People are cute. So there's cute cards, but my wife is very mad because people gave me gift cards.
Yeah, someone in particular.
So I got like
Gave a
Amazon
certain
gift cards, and then
gift
I
but
don't know
then
what you're talking
but
about.
then
To a
the
certain
lovely Nicola and his family got me a Crocs gift card. She's like, ah. But my mom ordered me a pair.
Or the addiction.
So my mom ordered me red off courts that I wanted for my birthday, and there was a whole shipping thing with Crocs, but it didn't go through. And they said they were issuing a refund. She's like, I don't want a refund. I just want the shoes. It was a random refund. So like, they're good though. So they said, for all the trouble they gave her, like because it wasn't a smooth transition, they're gonna free overnight.
Oh wow,
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
There you
great.
go.
Good customer service. So
Yeah, that's
Way
great.
to
Again-
stick to your
props
customer
on
delivery.
Crocs. Props
to
on Crocs.
Props to
Props
Crocs.
to Crocs.
Props to Crocs. That should be a T-shirt that we're gonna sell. Props
Props
to
to
Crocs.
Crocs.
Props to Crocs. We'll have to wait till we're actually an affiliate of theirs, so we don't get copyrighted for
Right,
the using
right,
the word
right,
Crocs.
right.
I mean, we could put our logo on it and make it say like, no, we're talking about crocodiles.
It's
Oh,
true.
Michaela did use Croc facts in her business conversation, by the way, the other day,
She
without
did.
getting into details.
Yeah,
of
I don't
it.
know how much we could talk
yeah,
about.
yeah, we
so
weren't
I don't
gonna
wanna-
keep it
details.
under
What was
the-
fun
under
is
the
that
kid-
she.
yeah.
Who would have thought how quickly she was able to leverage Croc facts?
Yeah,
that
it's
was great.
crazy.
Right, that's what I'm
I
saying.
know. I love it.
I love it. Okay, but moving right along, keeping the conversation going, you, sir, found something very interesting
So,
in anime.
so
I don't
I'm
know
a
how many
big
fans.
manga reader, watcher, and anybody ever see One Punch Man? Now-
One Punch.
One Punch Man, if you don't know, it's a cool little anime about a guy that gets super powered.
His name is Saitama.
Saitama. And many years ago, we talked about I'm bald. He's bald. It's part of the joke. That's part of the joke. Is he's bald. If we ever went to an anime convention or something, I would cosplay as Saitama, and he wears kind of like a goofy yellow suit or whatever.
Yeah, he's like a superhero type character in his world.
Right. But in the latest issues, he's having this epic battle in shorts, a t-shirt, and a pair of Crocs.
We have pictures to prove it.
He's wearing Crocs.
Oh no, you showed me the picture right before we started.
We should
They
share that on
are
the Instagram.
without a
pictures.
doubt.
Share all those
Crocs.
Oh,
pictures.
yeah.
Hey, look who wears Crocs when he fights. One Punch Man.
So now I'm like, I'm determined. I wanna cosplay as One Punch Man, but in the
In
shorts,
that
the
outfit,
t-shirt,
yeah.
and the Crocs.
You're gonna have to shave
Yes, I
Or
will
your
have to
beard.
shave.
just
beard,
for the.
he's gonna
I mean,
shave
it'll
his
grow
beard.
back by the afternoon, but still, you have to shave.
But I was like screaming. I was like, he's in Crocs, and that's like the second time I've seen because there was another cartoon on Disney Plus where somebody was wearing Crocs. I'm like, oh
It's
man.
Those
It
guys
is
at Crocs
spreading.
are doing something
It's
right,
spreading.
guys. It is out there, and
So-
it is growing.
I want to put up the picture maybe of like Saitama in there,
Or you should post it
and
on
I'll
Instagram.
put myself
yeah.
next to him.
And then say like, hey,
Could I do it?
could I do
Could
it?
I cosplay
You
as
guys
him?
should let us know. We'll put it like a poll in the Instagram stories or something like, should Master Dave cosplay as Saitama, One Punch Man? But the cool thing about it is that this guy is quite literally the epitome of an overpowered character.
That's the whole joke of the show.
That's literally
yeah.
the whole joke of the show is that he cannot be defeated and he defeats all his enemies with One punch, hence the name, One Punch Man. And like just the power that this guy holds is just so strong. Yet here he is in a pair of Crocs.
Yeah, the anime's
cool.
on Crunchyroll, but I'm hoping like a new season comes and this fight gets animated, and they
That'd be
animate him
really
in
cool.
Crocs. I'm just.
We should
It has
if,
to happen.
if they don't animate it, we should just do it ourselves.
We should.
Yeah, a fan animation.
Exactly.
Dave.
We're not even animation.
You know we're coming to you, Dave, for that picture release.
Yeah, we're
Or
heading-
at least the
we're-
photo. Oh,
We could just
if you
do it live action.
If you could do Satana Man with our Kicking with Crocs character in a picture, it was like a
Oh, that's brilliant.
Caravella.
Like,
who can
Call him right now.
we're
Call him
throwing
right now.
punches at each other. Oh,
Call
his
him right
punch
now.
First the kick.
Call him right now.
his punch versus the kick. Oh man, we can make that happen.
Yes. I think
can
that's
make that
something we could do. Yeah, Dave's very talented that way. Caravella, he could definitely do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Crossover pick.
But now, you know what's funny is now I pay attention to that. So when I see in media somebody wearing Crocs, I'm like, oh my god, they're in Crocs.
Now that I'm openly looking for Crocs, by the way, I was
See
in
it everywhere.
Columbus, Ohio recently. Crocs, there's a huge open market there. There are not many feet with Crocs there at all. So huge opportunity if we wanted to expand to Columbus, Ohio. So I don't know if you want to jump into the college market there, the old OHIO thing, or you want to just
But it's
dominate
crazy.
their marketing a little. But it's a huge area and no
I-
Crocs.
I just see it in media now, like somebody sent me Emmys or Grammys, whatever, one of those
Yeah, I don't
award
watch them. I
shows.
don't know.
But they sent me the red carpet, and somebody was wearing the Crocs Pollux. You know, I have the Crocs
Yeah.
Pollux.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
That's
somebody
nice.
wearing them on the red carpet. I was like, oh my god, I have those. I
That's
own
actually
those.
really cool.
That is really cool. I have to ask my sister. She's very in tune with the show. She knows like who the people are, what they're doing. I'm not, but I'll have to send her like, who is that character? Maybe we can get who that
Does
is
your
that
sister
actor.
own a pair of Crocs?
Oh, what? I don't know. I'll have to find out.
We
We'll have
should
to
find
chat
out.
about it, see if you get some Crocs.
See, now I'm not sure, since you got me a Croc gift card, though, I'm not sure what Crocs I need to get.
Well, you have a lot of options.
I do.
You have a lot of stuff that you're looking at that you like. What are some of the ones that you were looking at? I forget the
I
names.
don't know, man. But the off courts, like I said, my mom got me the
Off-courts?
off courts. My mom and dad got me the off courts for my birthday. They're on their way.
I think this is a call for another visit to the Croc
Crocs
Outlet.
I do like the ones that we almost got you.
Oh, I went.
You did say you
Yep.
were going to get those now that he doesn't have them.
So they were back in stock when
Oh,
I
yeah,
went
and
to
I'm-
go pick up the. I don't know if eights were back in stock. Just period, they were back in stock.
Oh.
But he
because
doesn't wear 8.
I don't wear
there's only a few there, and they were like taller than my. I should have put the high the
High
lifts
heels.
on,
You were gonna
yeah.
say high heels.
the high lifts.
Oh, the platform Crocs?
Yeah, I should have put them on so I could.
I need a pair of those.
I am,
I feel taller.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to get the Croc hikers. That's
Oh,
on
we
my
do got to
list.
get the hikers. True, that's too.
At the very least, you should get the ones like these that are the slip-ons. Maybe
Maybe.
those could work.
I mean,
too,
I already
for the
have
dojo.
slides. I have Croc slides.
Oh, okay, so
So-
maybe you get these, and I'll get the slides.
Oh, that could work
That's a
too.
good idea.
That's not a bad idea because you like slides.
I do.
Tangled here. Yeah. So I got options. I gotta look at and see what I want to get because there's a couple out there.
And if you happen to order, multiple from the Croc store, if you go over $50, which you will, it's free shipping.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's for shipping.
So there's options. I just
So
gotta
now
I
you're not
gotta
limited to just the store, but even the online.
I gotta
store.
peruse and see what's out there because I got the off courts coming. I like those. So I gotta see.
Yeah, and on a future episode, I definitely want to talk about the different style Crocs.
Yeah, we'll get to that
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. That's on my list of things.
For
to
sure,
do.
we'll have to lay out all the different styles.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch, so.
Yeah,
good
I do
idea.
have a
And
whole
not that
bunch.
we're going to do this today, but I do want you guys to know that we are aware of the conversation with the individual who got injured and then the lawsuit.
Oh,
And we'll probably
yeah. We can
chat
talk
Oh,
about that.
yeah.
We can talk about this now. So,
Okay,
We
you
can
wanna-
talk about it right now. I mean,
Okay.
we got a little
we got
time.
time. Yeah.
Got a little
because
time.
we're martial artists, yeah, we still got some time left. So, to those of you guys that don't know, our chief instructor and boss, Master Paul Prendergast, shout out.
Hopefully, we might try and get him on.
we're
the
gonna try to get
podcast.
him on.
We're
the
gonna try and
podcast.
get him on.
We're
the
gonna try really
podcast.
hard.
We're gonna try.
That'd be great.
He sent us a link to an article about there was a jiu-jitsu student in San Diego.
Which is fun because after he sent me the link, it blew up everywhere. On the
It did. It
internet.
got
Yeah,
me.
was
McDojo
everywhere.
talked about
It's
it.
like he-
Everybody I
yes.
follow.
Yep.
Let's
Start talking about it.
Teach Me Grappling. I don't know if you guys follow him on,
I don't.
on YouTube.
No.
Teach Me Grappling talked about it. Brian, I can't remember his last name.
McDojo Life put up a video about
McDojo
it.
Life put up a video
A
about
detailed
it.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
We love McDojo Life, by the
We
way.
do. Yeah, we do a lot of
He's-
challenges too.
We've done his challenges.
Mhm.
He's very kind and put us up on his Instagram a
page.
couple times.
But back to what we were talking about. There's a jiu-jitsu student in San Diego that it was a white belt beginner, right? Was rolling, was wrestling with one of the instructors at the school, and the instructor tried to do a fancy roll, fancy flip move.
It was a
and
particular back take.
without
Yeah,
getting
he had back
Mhm.
position and was
Yeah.
trying to roll out of back position.
to another.
And the white belt, not knowing how
So-
to kind of cushion himself, rolled over his own head
yeah.
with the instructor.
Yeah, so it's
and then laid flat.
It's a back take that he was doing. And actually, if you follow Teach Me Grap, he had his back, but he was on all.
He already
fours.
had his back.
No,
yes.
but he was on all fours.
Yep.
So when
Yep.
I say back take means that
He was trying to get hooks in.
he gets hooked in and
Yeah.
gets him flat like a.
He was trying to
choke
get him
game.
into a choke
Yep.
position.
Think like a choke game. So
Mhm.
actually, Brian at Teach Me Grappling, which is YouTube channel, he had taught this move
Oh, pull up the article.
like a week ago.
Got it.
Like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. He was actually says in this video, he's like, I was just teaching this.
Mm.
And he was breaking down like he doesn't trap the arms the way the guy trapped the arms. If
Yeah.
you watch the video, he had his arms trapped. But
Yeah, I'm pulling up the article right now.
yeah,
And it's one of the reasons that caused the injury. Again, you have a white belt who doesn't know how to tuck, doesn't know how to roll, doesn't know how to position himself. Arms were trapped, head was going forward, and just really got caught under the weight of the instructor,
So,
who
yeah.
was an experienced instructor, but
It was just,
probably
Listen,
should
I'm
not have
not-
been rolling like that.
I'm not going to comment whether
Yeah.
it's
right or
the
wrong.
instructor's
Exactly
fault,
right,
whether
yeah.
it's the student's fault,
no,
if it's a freak accident,
no. But
if he
the-
did something
yeah.
wrong.
Bottom line is, while they were rolling and while the instructor tried to do this fancy flip, he ended up really injuring his student's neck, and it paralyzed the white belt. It paralyzed him. So I'm not going to get into too many details about that because the article goes into more details.
Right.
But we're not going to go too crazy with it. But bottom line is, we're bringing this up because safety, when you're in the martial arts, it's it is a contact sport, and it is a contact activity. And there are there are occasions where accidents can happen, but it's our job as instructors is to make sure that we minimize the chances that happen as
Always.
much as humanly possible, almost to like none, because safety is we literally teach the students this when they're white belts.
Yeah.
The number one
Number
priority,
one priority in class.
is safety.
And I always go back to like when you roll, when you spar, I think ego gets into it where you don't want to lose.
Right.
And you wrongly view tapping or getting into a submissive or less dominant position as you lost.
Yep.
Which is not the right idea. The right idea is that when you tap, it's like, okay, I learned something. But then people get into this mindset like, no, you're not going to choke me. No, you're not going to get me. Or I'm more advanced ranked than you, so you shouldn't be able to. And I'm of the opinion on any given day, you make a wrong move, somebody's got you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, without a
I
doubt.
don't care what your skill level is.
Yep.
That's why I like sparring at a lighter, playful kind of pace.
Especially
Oh yeah,
over
I mean,
beginners.
again, going in and trying to haymaker someone or lay someone out is zero proof of your actual skill set. It is not. I mean, again, you'll see these top level athletes, they're doing that in the environment that's set for them. But when they train, they can't train at that level. I mean, you guys just trained at Mighty Mouse recently, where
Yeah,
he's like,
he does
Yeah,
that's
this.
less than what 20% of his
He was
training.
very
is full
strict.
And like in
contact.
Thailand, they
how
spar
lightly
very
spar.
lightly because they fight a lot.
Mhm.
But again, you got to go back to what your purpose is too. Like what was sad was I was reading some comments. Some people were like, "Oh, it scares me from wanting to take jujitsu," and I'm like, "Oh, that shouldn't scare you."
Yep.
But I understand.
Oh no!
But-
Yeah, if I were someone that had never trained before and I was thinking about it, and then I saw this story blow up, it would definitely dissuade me, at least for a little while,
Yeah.
until
And-
this
and
all
it
passes,
goes to-
blows over.
It
I
goes
hear
to
you.
what your goal in your training is. If your
Exactly.
goal is to fight in a cage and you want to be a fighter, okay, then you have to understand that you may have more intensity. But I feel like most people that get involved in martial arts, they're not looking to be professional fighters.
They're balancing themselves out, really. Is what's happening.
Right. Like, so you have to, your training should mimic what you're trying to do. If you're not trying to be a professional fighter, you shouldn't be going as hard as some people like to try and go.
Yep.
Agreed, 100%. And there's different environments for that, right? If you're going to a martial arts school to better yourself, to build your health, your balance, your strength, your knowledge, great. If you're going to compete, it's a different school environment, period.
Right.
First of all, you're looking for a camp that's training you to compete and be ready for that environment. And by the way, even the top competitors, you know, even if you think of like bodybuilding or weight training or again martial arts, you're not at that level all the time. You train to be ready at that level for the moment of the event, and then you're on your kind of day-to-day intake, which is more manageable
Right.
for the human
Well,
body.
I follow. I don't know if I brought him up before on the podcast or not, but Mikey Musameshi, who's
You mentioned him once.
he's a world champion at one FC just in grappling jiu-jitsu, and he's the guy that eats just pizza.
Oh, he just has
Mostly
pizza and
just
pizza
pizza,
and
yeah.
pasta.
So I love that guy, but he was on Joe Rogan's podcast breaking down his training regimen and his
Okay.
schedule. And one of the things that was fascinating about the way he trains compared to how a lot of other top guys in jiu-jitsu train is
Mhm.
he trains what they call quote unquote casuals. That's what he calls it. People that aren't competing. So he
Right.
likes to go to martial art like jiu-jitsu schools and compete in or take classes involved with other guys that's not their profession. That's just they're coming to roll jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, kind of like us.
Like us.
Yep.
Like it's not their we're martial arts instructors, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he, like the guy that's like a teacher for a living, and then or like construction worker or whatever.
Yeah,
and
you're not
just
doing
takes a
it 6
jiu-jitsu
days
class.
a week. Yep, got it.
Yep.
And when asked, well, why, you're a high level world champion, because when you train with them, not only do you get to play with a couple of moves, whatever, but they're not trying to rip your head off the
No.
way. If I'm a world champion training with another world champion, the ego's there, the drive is there, so your chances of getting injured go up. And that was his take on it, which I found interesting because he's training particularly with guys he knows aren't going to rip his head off.
Yeah, we want to just roll and learn things together. I don't want to have to fend for my existence every single time I'm on the mat.
And he teaches
Exactly.
them. What I found is he'll teach them how to get out of what he's doing. He'll teach them the counter,
Love that.
so that now he has to figure out his next step because they got the counter for what he's doing. So now he teaches them how to beat him, and then he's got to figure out his way out
How
of
do
that,
I counter my counter.
which
and I
is
think-
so contrarian to how everybody else trains.
Thanks. And I think it's important now that we're talking about this, right? So safety paramount. And
Yep.
Steve and Dave are putting out a lot of fantastic Weapons Wednesdays, techniques of the week. For those of you that aren't martial artists, but you're watching this and you're interested in it, right? Take those precautions of, don't go and buy like the sharpest weapon you can and say, let me try to spin this thing towards my head or
No.
whatever it may be. Don't be against getting. I'm going to get a rubber version of this. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to practice it, or I'm going to get a guarded version of it, or I'm going to get a dull version of it,
Right.
because that's very important to understand the technique. Not can it penetrate through the sheetrock in
And
my house.
make sure
Yeah.
that you're wearing your Crocs in sport mode.
Crocs in
safety.
sports mode. Yep,
That'll definitely help
That's
you.
that's for safety.
That's
Absolutely.
absolutely the most important safety feature that there is. Sport.
Because the one thing you learn a lot, especially with weapons, is the weapons will teach you lessons.
Yep.
It's true.
We joke around that with our nunchuck class, which is probably the most often, where you're those new chuckers are
Oh,
swinging
yeah.
it and they're hitting
Yeah.
their
Whack
fingers
themselves
and
in
their
the head.
knees and their head,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that's why you have
But-
padding on them in the beginning.
And I feel like that's the going back to like the video and this guy. It's the worst. I mean, I'm sure he feels terrible because as an instructor,
Oh.
you feel terrible if you've hurt somebody.
I put myself in that instructor's shoes right off the bat, and I said, I don't know what I would do.
Right?
I don't know what I would be able to say or
Because he
do.
immediately,
or-
if you do watch the video,
I don't know.
he
There's no coming back
immediately
from
got
it.
off that. Like when that
He
guy's
stopped
neck,
right
he
away.
got right off.
You
I
could
mean-
tell
it
he
was
felt
too late.
terrible.
It's
Unfortunately,
anybody
but it
that's
was
trained.
quick.
You've unfortunately been with a training partner where something has happened. Now, generally,
I
it's nothing crazy. Like I broke my toe one time,
Mm.
where like you bruise somebody or whatever. I'd feel bad if I knocked the wind out of somebody, and I'm like, oh god, I should be better than that, you know?
Yeah, be better control.
Especially when you're at the experience level that we're at, you're just like, oh, I could have done that wrong, different.
Well, because one of the things that's, I guess back in the day, karate would take a heat for, and now it's like
Yeah.
become more norm. Is that in karate, you're not trying to
Knock the guy out.
knock the guy out.
That's actually against the rules in traditional
I mean,
point
you're
fighting.
trying to
We just saw that in
work
the
your
Olympics.
technique, but
Exactly.
you're not
right.
trying. I mean, traditional. If you go way back, karate's one shot, one kill. That was the idea. You hit them once, they drop.
Yeah, in the original. Yeah.
Yeah, but the way sparring's been done for a long, long time in traditional martial arts is a lighter, more controlled thing.
It's for drills.
So you have to have your control.
Yes.
It's like it's always control. You gotta have control. So I
Yeah,
always feel
control.
terrible if I hit somebody too hard.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel bad
Yeah.
too.
I mean, it's part of the lesson. It's part of
Right.
learning. And sometimes you can be as controlled as you want, but you can't control the momentum of the person's body coming towards
Correct.
you or maneuvering. But again,
But knowing what I felt when I've hurt somebody
yeah, in a minor way, yeah.
in a very minor way.
Yeah,
Again,
just imagine
safety's
this.
paramount, so I've never
Exactly
actually, but in a minor way, and knowing how bad I felt then, I can't
Mm.
imagine what this guy must feel in a major way.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god!
That's got to be a complete shot to the mind, right? You know,
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I just
Especially if you're a teacher.
paralyzed.
Yeah,
If
you
you're
And
a
it wasn't like it
teacher.
was his first wipeout, his first class. These
Exactly.
These are people that are on the mats for a long time.
it's just a
So,
sad
it's
situation
horrible,
all
yeah.
around.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the individual, it's obviously paralyzed.
That's
nightmare
terrible.
Situation.
Yeah.
Just trying to better yourself with jiu-jitsu, we get it, and and the school. There's no. It's a lose-lose situation for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a tough one. But be safe. You can't be
Yes.
overcautious, folks.
No, yeah,
Safety
and that's why you don't
first
have
at
to
all
jump right
times.
to live rolling either.
Oh yeah.
Like that's why we ease people into sparring.
Yep.
We spend a lot of time honing techniques before we're
Yes.
like, all right, here's some gear, try and hit each other.
Yep.
Well, I had an advanced class or intermediate class the other day for in grappling. We only had 30 seconds, no, a minute and 30 seconds of matches because we were just lessoning and
Yeah,
drilling,
yeah.
and we were enjoying the drilling. Like the kids had a lot of questions, and we had a lot of alterations.
Yeah, we
and
don't
drilling.
start kids off
worked
sparring
out.
because
No.
there are places that start you off right away. Like here's gloves, but no, I want to teach you how to punch. I want to teach you how
Had
to
a
block,
stand.
how to move, how to stand.
Yeah. How to actually stand up. Yeah.
And I got to get to know you and teach you. It's not about blasting each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think if you just take somebody within their first couple of weeks, you're like, here's some gloves. You're gonna get people
Yeah.
blasting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially as you get away from the youngins and you go to the teen level.
No,
Yeah, and they come in not really understanding
teens
why
are
they're
the
there.
worst.
Right, new teens are the worst. Like new teens are tough because they don't really know why they're there. Some of them
Yeah.
think they're there to better themselves. Others think they're there to prove a point.
Yep.
And you have
The
to
young man's
again.
ego.
Yes, testosterone is a real thing, and ego is
Yeah.
a real thing, and pride is a real thing, and they all come at you pretty heavy between the ages of 13 and 19. So,
It's true.
it's
Yeah.
our job to let them
It
understand
was a
what they're
sad,
there for.
messed up situation.
Yep.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's true.
But I did think it was important for us to at least mention the fact
Right.
that we heard
Oh,
about
we have
it.
to. Yeah.
Safety, without a doubt,
Yes,
right, guys?
Safety is always our first priority in our classes.
Yep.
100%.
And the same thing at home. For those of you seeing a lot of the awesome stuff that's coming out from these guys and myself, take your time, enjoy it, learn it, but take the steps.
Do
to
everything in the
be
steps
safe.
and do everything in the we break everything down at the steps. So
Yep.
just do
Yeah.
the steps. Don't rush. I think that's the biggest thing with
Always
learning any
slow.
martial arts technique is don't rush.
Always
Don't rush.
slow.
Yeah.
Not in sport mode. Don't rush. Don't
Crocs in
rush.
sport
Yep,
mode.
exactly right.
All right, there, guys. That's about all the time that we have for today. Again,
Yeah,
it was
so-
just some good conversations.
Just so you guys, we because it's Easter coming up.
Yes.
So Nick is Italian.
He is Italian.
As
Nick
we
is
we all
Italian.
are all Italian, but
Nick is
Nick-
slightly more Italian.
Nick's slightly more Italian. So Easter's like a big thing. Family's a big thing. So
Totally.
if you don't see him in the next 2 weeks as often, just
That's the
this 2
reason why,
weeks,
yeah.
because next Sunday's
Yeah,
Easter.
Yeah, next Sunday's Easter. Today's Palm
So our
Sunday.
next podcast, Nick may or may not be with us.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see.
Yep. But
But-
the love is still there.
Love is
and I
always
will catch
there.
up with you on the following one if I don't make it to this one. And for those of you celebrating, please enjoy the time with your family, and your
Yes.
friends. Enjoy the time with your communities. Have fun with that because it is a great time to step back on any holiday that you specifically celebrate and really take it in.
You
Why
know-
are you celebrating?
You know what I didn't look up though is
Oh.
if there's Easter Crocs.
We'll have to look that up and get back to you guys.
I have
on
Chris-
our
I
have
next
Christmas
podcast
Crocs.
episode is going to be our
Oh,
next
my
podcast
goodness.
episode is going to be the Easter episode. So
I have
we'll
Christmas
have to
Crocs.
And
find it out.
you guys we better talk about even if I'm not there a little bit, right? Like the history behind the Easter Bunny, because there are
good
multiple
idea.
different reasons there, and I get that question often, like, well, why do we celebrate the Easter Bunny if it's about celebrating the rising of Jesus or whatever it may be, but we're talking about an Easter bunny and eggs. And I'm not going to go into it now. We'll save it for next time. But
That's
there's
sure,
some
that's fine.
interesting, theories and history behind eggs and Easter bunnies not together, but yet symbolizing the same thing. Without getting into it now, it's a teaser for our next episode.
We should also have a picture of our Croc guy with the Easter bunny, our Croc logo guy. Man, we got a lot of work.
We
for
got a
Dave.
lot of work
We
for
got a lot of
Caravella.
work for Dave.
Yeah,
man.
that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Caravella, you're gonna have a tall order coming your way.
Let's go, baby.
But,
You're so good.
He is. That's why. Yeah, because he's so good at drawing. That's
really
why.
is.
My voice is fading
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
very
All right.
slowly.
We'll end it now. All right, guys. If you have not already followed us on Instagram and TikTok, be sure to do that. It's at Kickin in Crocs, KICKIN.in.Crocs, CROCS. Subscribe on YouTube to watch the video versions of this podcast, as well as see all our videos of Techniques of the Week and Weapons Wednesdays. We also post those on Instagram and TikTok as well, but we're going to be doing some more detailed breakdowns on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you subscribe. If you guys are listening to this podcast on audio only, what should they give them, Nick?
5 stars. 5 stars.
5-star reviews. And make sure you guys submit your photos and videos of you throwing kicks and Crocs. We'd love to feature you guys on the Instagram page, so make sure you do that as well.
Let's do it.
And that's all we got for today. I've been Steve.
Still Dave.
Always Nick.
And you stay kicking, Internet.
Later.